Visakha, known as the City of Destiny, is spread on the coast of Bay of Bengal in Andhra Pradesh. Being an abode of natural beauty, this city attracts a large number of tourists and is developing by leaps and bounds. Andhra University, which gained national prominence with its unique style of offering higher education, is situated in this city.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Glad to see you all on this Sunday evening to this new episode of Gita. So, first of all, happy to see you all on this Sunday evening. First of all, I want to thank Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor PVGD Prasad Reddy Garu for launching the virtual Tech Talk platform. And I also want to thank Professor P. Srinivas Rao Garu for giving the wonderful opportunity to host the virtual Tech Talk platform, Gita, which is also known as General Interest Topics Avenue. As initiated by AU College of Engineering, Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, a series of tech talks are being hosted by the General Interest Topics Avenue, which is also known as Gita. Gita provides a online platform for the enrichment of technical knowledge of the student fraternity of Andhra University and other universities and colleges as well. Gita includes technical domain experts, faculty, scholars to share their views and expertise to the budding engineers of India. In this connection, Geeta, a series of tech talks are being streamed on our YouTube channel on every Sunday at 7 p.m. Now I hand over the screen to our today's anchor, whose name is Reshma. Reshma, now the screen is yours.
Thank you, Vinny. That was a great introduction about Geeta. And I would like to add to it Geeta helps you uh, get a clear vision of ideas. It is one of the best platform where the knowledge is shared on a wide spectrum, and also it gives exposure to new ideas and opportunities. Going forward, I would like to introduce our today's speaker, who is none other than Nikhitha C. So, Nikhitha C is uh, an Indian based space enthusiastic, and Dr. Kalpana Chawla scholar from International Space University. She is a motivational speaker and a social impact entrepreneur. And also, she is a so called mogul for her dedication and passion for space and STEM education. Her flight of fancy makes us think we are the universe manifesting itself as a human for a jiffy. Also, she is the co-founder of Society for Space Education Research and Development, which is SSERD, with a mission to open a space frontier to all by promoting space education among the community. Nikhitha, residing in Bangalore, India, has done a bachelor's in aerospace engineering from Alliance University and is a space geek who has traveled over 6 countries, including Mauritius in December 2018, and a moderator for space and STEM education and outreach in Africa, Sri Lanka in January 2019 to teach about space science and advancement of India in space industry. France in June 2019. She was a part of the team project called Space for Urban Planning, where 30 participants from different countries came together to find solutions for challenges faced in urban planning. Nikita is a good perceptor who pledged herself with a focus on educating and exciting people around the world. Now she is becoming a household name among the space nerds and a power machine for inspiring and motivating young students to perceive their goals and dreams. She is a great supporter of girls and women in STEAM. Her goals within the next 5 years are that she would like to have many students to come up with innovative solutions and to partner with all the major national space agencies to share the progress among the students and also to look out for opportunities for students to do their research or internship in collaboration with these organizations. Also to partner with space companies and startups to provide the students with the required jobs so that they can use their talent for the betterment of the nation. So this is in short about Ma'am Nikhitha. And now I would like to hand over this. Now I would like to hand over this session to Vinil.
Thank you, Reshma, for such a wonderful introduction about ma'am. And as said by Reshma, it is a wonderful platform to all the students and professors and scholars as well. So please share our channel and tell to your friends about this channel so that they get benefited from this. And yes, now I hand over the screen to the speaker, Nikhitha Shetty ma'am. Thank you for accepting the invitation and even in your busy schedule, accepting and coming to our platform now. Thank you. Now the screen is yours, ma'am.
Thank you, Neil. And in fact, I would like to thank everyone who are part of Andhra University for inviting me for this session. And I was asked to give a talk, and I selected something that I was aware of. You know, I usually give a talk to everyone on those topics, but then I was requested to give a talk on a very special topic, as you all know, pursuing this dream of being an entrepreneur. I mean, like, for a second, I was like, okay, that topic is so vast. I mean, I have to speak a lot of things now. I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. I'll try to give my journey as one of the example, and then I'll also talk about that particular topic, covering as many things as possible. So I have made this presentation. I'm also prepared for the talk in order to give you all an idea of how should you even think of a startup, and what should you be, and what should your mindset be. Okay, and I would be really happy to take any of your questions at the end, and also in case if you all need any kind of support, do feel free to reach out to us. All right, so let me I have already started sharing my screen, and then if you can just bring up. Yes, great. So that's my screen. Keep watching, and I'm gonna start off with my presentation, right? So as you all know, this is the topic, pursuing your entrepreneurial dreams. And I'm pretty sure everyone who's watching this video or who's watching at this seminar must be either interested in starting your own entrepreneurial life, or like, let's say, want to start off with your enterprise or a company, or who's probably thinking, I might take this as an option sometime in the future. For both of you, in fact, the third category who are already entrepreneurs, this might help you to recheck what you're doing, so that you make sure you succeed at your goals. When I said succeed at your goals, it's really important for all of you to know what exactly is a goal, or what are things, right? Before that, let me talk about dream, because all of us have dreams. I have a dream. Vinit has a dream. In fact, probably that one of his dream led him start this Gita talks, isn't it? So everyone or all of us have dreams. Now that dream could be either good or bad, right? It could be good dream, bad dream. But what makes few dreams a special dreams? Now, those special dreams are something that you want to achieve in your life. Like, you want to make sure, oh, I saw that dream where I was standing on top of that hill. I want to make it happen. That's the kind of dreams that we're talking about. If you are getting into this life of becoming an entrepreneur, or be it anything, you would have dreamt a lot, right? Just think of something that was very interesting for you, and you want to make it happen, right? So that brings us to the goal, right? You might have seen a lot of dreams, but what is that particular dream which became your goal? I hope you got the difference between dream and goal, right? So there are a lot of dreams, but then there's only one goal from those dreams. And you are all set to achieve that particular goal. Everyone in our, like, again, all of us must have a goal in our life. Otherwise, our life is something that's just going like a stream of river. We really don't know where it is going to end. We really don't know what all we're going to pass through. We're pretty sure we're going to end it into something like a big ocean. And again, we don't know which particular ocean, right? So we don't want our life to be like that. Instead, you should know where are you going to, or where you must reach, right? That, all those together is something called as goal. So each one of us must have a goal. Now, being an entrepreneur, you must have, like, when I say entrepreneur or entrepreneurship, something that comes to your mind, I think, is money, right? You must have seen a lot of people who are entrepreneurs and their life is so good. You want to become like them because of few reasons. One of the reasons is money. You might have seen them becoming rich. You might have seen them like enjoying their life like anything. Like anything, as in buying the costliest thing, having your luxurious life and everything. If you are a person who want to become an entrepreneur for the reason that you saw someone enjoying this, I think it's not easy. For them to make that happen, it wasn't easy at all. They went through a lot of problem. You all would have seen a lot of movies where they show things to take ups and downs and reach the happy ending within 3 hours of maximum time. That is not the real life. You must have also seen a lot of entrepreneurship related movies, which are all just movies, which are all just stories. Just go watch the real movies, like the real stories. There is where you understand the real struggle of being an entrepreneur. Money comes like after a long time of your hard work. You enjoy your life when you feel that, okay, I'm fine if I spend money. You will buy the things for you only when you make sure everyone who are dependent on you are fine. Like, when you become a owner of any startup or any company, you first thing that you do or anyone does is they make sure people who are working under them are safe. They're working, they earn money, and everyone is fine. The family is fine. Everything is fine, fine, fine. And the last priority is given to ourselves. And that's when all these things happen. But before that, so many things happen. You get into a lot of problems and everything. So I want to tell you all, don't get into a misconception of telling, if I become an entrepreneur, the next thing that happened to me or will happen to me is money. I can enjoy my life. I can I can lead a luxurious life. Nope, that doesn't happen soon. In case if that's happening, so probably you should think that you're going wrong somewhere. Somewhere something is going wrong. Check it out, right? So let's go next. As I said, it's not that easy. A person who's an entrepreneur has 10 things, or in fact more than 10 things running in his mind. Like, if the work is going on well, if I got the money, if the work is going outside soon, or what is that I'm supposed to do next, do I have all my employees working in? So many things will be running into a person's mind. He that's what it is. And if you are trying to become an entrepreneur, be prepared for this, because you will have to take a lot of risk, and you have to be strong as well. You can't give up, because you've done so many things to get into that dream, to make sure that dream come true. When problems come in, you can't just give up. So you really need to be that strong person, bear everything and make it happen. Now, if anyone among you are thinking, okay, this looks crazy. I don't have any idea what I need to do, but I want to become an entrepreneur, right? I don't know how many of you are here thinking like that, but if there is anyone, at least one of you thinking, I want to become an entrepreneur, or probably someone who's watching this later in the future want or thinks of becoming an entrepreneur, I think this is the set of things or like set of uh, points that you need to follow. The first thing you need to do is find a problem. Find a problem that's bothering you. It could be either you or someone around you, or it could be anyone. But all you need to do is find one of the serious problem that's there around you. Sometimes you might think of a lot of people. Okay, for example, I can just give you a simplest example, right? You see the water that we are drinking, you all know that there's only 1% of the water which is like potable, as in drinkable water. What if that 1% of the water gets over in another 150 years? What will our future generation do? Right? That's a problem. So think about problems that are there around you or that you would have faced. It could be anything. But if you want to become an entrepreneur and if you want to make everything successful, your company to be successful, make sure you work on a problem. If you don't work on a problem, and if you just say, I want to become an entrepreneur, I want to earn money, no, you can't do that again. So first, search for the problem. All right. Now, if you found a problem, like, you might have teamed up with all your friends or someone who has similar mind. In fact, finding a co-founder, or like, let's say, the partner for your company or for the work that you want to do is one of the toughest job. If you find a wrong person, your dreams are gone in vain. If you find the right person, you can see you are growing to the higher level. So yes, team is really, really important. That too, particularly a core team in which you all are like the pillars of the company, right? So anyways, you have formed the team and you've started looking for the problems, and you have found a problem which is very much bothering for you or the whole team, or you think that needs solution. So the next thing that you're going to do is find a solution, right? Find a solution which you can give it to everyone who are facing that problem. All right. So coming up with the solution is like really important. In the first time, the solution comes in the form of an idea. To making it happen, it could be a technology related product, it could be service, it could be anything. Basically a solution has to be found, right? And then few among you or like your teammates or others would say, oh, it's not that important solution, or it's not that important problem, right? And then at the same time, few of them will say, no, this is like really important, this is going to be important. Now always concentrate on something that is going to be important, because what what we're having today is a is a result of what people didn't do long back. Now think about something that's going to be very problematic in the future, and you work on it right now, because it also takes time for you to make it happen. All right. Don't give a solution for the problem that was 100 years back. No, it has no sense. Think about a problem that is going to be a very big problem 100 years from now. Then give it a solution. It has value, right? So first thing is you had to find a problem. The second thing is you had to find a solution. People will say it's important, not important. It all depends on you, the pillars of the company, to decide which is the right solution to go with, which will give you money. Of course, everything is about money. Why are you doing all this? For money, isn't it? Why are we all doing this? Because of money. Need not be for you, but for your team members, but for your employees. Even if you want to do like start a company, like just giving an example which you can relate it to. You all are in Visakhapatnam. You all have beach. You see a lot of people throwing the waste in the beach. Your company is the company which cleans the beach, right? Now think about it. Cleaning the beach, like getting the beach dirty, is a problem, correct? Your solution was cleaning the beach. Now cleaning the beach, how will that get you money? Think about it. That's all it is. You think of different ways to make money with your solution. That's all is entrepreneurship. That's all it is about. because money is why you all started. Money is something that is going to help you to make that happen. Like you said, I'm going to clean the beach. If you want to clean the beach, there's so many things that's required. How will you buy? Money, right? So make sure you find a problem, you find a solution. Now that solution should get you money. That is how you need to think of, all right? Of course, there are like different types of entrepreneurship. There's something called as large company, scalable startup, then small business, and then social. You all must have heard about these companies which are very big. It has employees in thousands, like Tata Trust, Reliance, and then think about ISRO itself. It's all like very huge companies which has employees in thousands. That's like a large company. Now, scalable startup is like it's a startup which you just introduced, like it's an idea and you made it possible, and it has to grow. It can be taken to a larger company. So it's called scalable startup, right? And the third one, which you can see, is a small business. Business can be like really anything. A person near your house who's doing the welding, that is a small business. A person who's making the candles, that's a small business. A person who is selling things in his shop, it could be a bakery, it could be anything, it's a small business, right? Including a person who's selling pani puri on the road is a small business. That's another type of entrepreneurship because he started off his own. He is the owner of the company, his own small company, and that's called small business. All right, now coming to the fourth type, the social, I kept it to the last because that is what I am in, right? Now, what is social entrepreneurship? I've been telling you need to find a problem, you need to come up with a solution, and that solution should give you money. The change here with social entrepreneurship is you can't take money. Can you believe that? Yes, you have to do everything as an entrepreneur. You need to put the same effort. You also need to earn money for the startup or the for NGOs, but you can't take money. That's called social entrepreneurship. Just to give you an example, I think most of you would have seen few NGOs where or few set of people or few group of people who like all put 100 rupees money and they buy something and go give to poor people. It could be book, it could be food, it could be the dress, clothes, anything and everything. Those are all the things that comes under social entrepreneurship. All right. So as I said, all these things, and I was also telling I'm into social entrepreneurship. I'm going to give you the example of mine. Like it can give you like a bit more information. All right. So I'm a person who dreamt of becoming a pilot. I always wanted to become a pilot. And I got to know that in my 12th grade that I'm short, like I'm really short. Okay. And I felt really bad, like felt really, really bad. And then I was like, okay, if I don't drive an aeroplane, it's fine. Let me start learning at least about aeroplanes. How do they work? All these aircrafts and spacecrafts and everything. That's when luckily I got into a university which was teaching both aeronautics and space on the name of aerospace. And I got into that as a part of the whole 4 years program. There was one small program which is like you go to IIT Kanpur and you get the opportunity to fly in the plane like this. It's a two-seater glider. You become a co-pilot and everything. Yeah, I can say I did make my dream come true for once. It was though it's not a proper dream, but yes, I did flew in the airplane as a pilot, as a co-pilot. So that was one of my dream. And yes, studying about all these aircraft, spacecrafts, and everything, I started liking space more. Okay, and I used to attend a lot of conferences that used to happen as a student, like a student like you all. I used to attend a lot of them, and then I happened to attend one of the conference which was organized by Sujay, and that's him. And I got to know that he's one of the space enthusiasts like me, and He thinks of so many things about space. His life is all about space and airplanes and everything. So we both had this similar mindset and everything. And we started thinking, we have to do something, because I knew there were a few problems and he knew that there were a few problems that we both had faced. And we wanted to bring the solution for it, because you can't wait for someone else to, give a solution to the problems that you faced. And we didn't wanted anyone else, like any students, to face those problems, right? So that's what made us come together and start our organization, which is called Society for Space Education Research and Development. Initially, it was a group where people from different universities, different places, different professionals came together, and we just spoke about space and started doing some programs and everything. After 1 year or so, one of the parents said, Nikhitha, you're doing the programs are so good and everything. What's your future plan? I was like, what's a future plan? I was like, I'm still a student. I was in my third year when I started SSCRD. Like, I'm still a student. I'm just working somewhere else. Probably we will do this as our part time and something like that. He was like, no, you should get it registered. We were like, what? What is registration? And so what I'm trying to say is we both come from a non-entrepreneurship background, as in my family, no one entrepreneurs. His family, no one entrepreneurs. We both come from a very middle class family where we both were first generation entrepreneurs. And we decided to go with this, like, so we had the option of getting it registered as a private company or as an NGO. We were like, okay, we were thinking a lot. We took like 2 to 3 months to decide what should we do, and we decided telling, let's get it registered as a you know uh, as an NGO, right? And then we got it registered as an NGO. So our like these are a few things that we had like as problems. As I was telling you, we had few problems, right? One is the outdated content, as in the books which we all were studying just speaks about history, right? It just says whatever happened in the history. It is not telling what's happening right now. For this sake, our students don't know what is happening in the world. You look at other students, like look at the students in the other part of the world, they know everything that's happening, but our students know, because our students only read books, right? The second thing is outdated method of learning. We all just read the books. That's again something very much outdated, and we found that as one of the major problem. The third one is lack of space knowledge. I had a lot of my friends who got into aerospace engineering without knowing what they're going to do. They thought that they would become pilots. They thought that they would study about stars and planets. That was very bad, right? And we thought we should help those people who are dreaming to get into this field, telling them what exactly is what, so that they can decide later what is that they have to do. So these are the problems that we thought of, and we started coming up with solutions. Like for outdated content, we thought, let's update the content and start giving it to students, so the students, like our students, are equally capable to other students. Then we also had this solution for outdated method. You all must have heard of STEM based or hand based hands-on education, wherein if you want to learn something, it's not that just through your books you learn. Instead, you learn through activities. You learn through some model making, right? That's called as hands-on education, and we focused on something called as that, like hands-on education, STEM education, like learn, build, and launch. And then VR technology, like you make them visualize things, because in the books you just read. Simulations, computations. Like we came up with crazy ideas to make sure the students remember the things in a very good way and don't forget, or don't feel that learning is a boring thing. We want to make it like more attractive or more interactive, I can say. Of course, the last problem we had was lack of space knowledge. We wanted to like guide them. That's what we started doing. This was a problem, this was a solution, and of course, without thinking of money. Like you can do all this. We wanted to do all this and don't expect money, because it's an NGO, because it's a social startup, because we are all social entrepreneurs. For example, I'm giving this talk. You might invite like big people. They might like charge you like for 1 hour some thousands of rupees, and I'm doing this because I'm a social entrepreneur. And I'm just giving you an example of this talk, but I have been doing everything since 4 years of starting SSCRT for free. And how did I do this? It's a very challenging question. And that's what leads us to a problem, isn't it? We have a problem. If we are running a social enterprise or any kind of company, you do have problems. We did have problems, right? What are those problems are like this? Where do I get money? What about the team? What about my employees? Like, how many should I employ? If I employ one person, how do I give them a salary? What about market? Who is going to take my programs and pay me little bit? Like, I can go to a private school and charge a little bit. The students can, give some money. If I go to government school, I can't charge because they can't pay me. So I'm going to teach them for free. So of course, the market. And we wanted someone to guide us. You really need someone to guide, even in the like in even if you're running a company, you need a mentor. And of course, the family is one of their biggest problem. For us, both me and Sujay had a problem because they were like, you both are so talented, you both can go outside and work, you both can earn a lot of money, and what have you both done? You started off an NGO and you can't earn money. Like, our parents hated us. And if you even start a normal company also, you will not get money in the first few days, a few months, few years sometimes, right? So family becomes one of the problem. Paying salaries, taking our own salary, you have to depend on someone, isn't it? What will you do for your own expenses? It's a salary. Your competition, as in your competitors, is one of the major headache. Someone is copying you, someone is trying to do the same thing that you thought of, someone is growing with the same idea but you're not growing. That's another big headache. Of course, sometimes you need a motivation, like motivation telling, you can do it, right? So motivation is something that we lack, and of course, another 100 problems. So these are the different problems that you will come across even if you start a social enterprise or normal enterprise, right? As an entrepreneur, you have to get into all these problems, and that's why entrepreneurs are like treated as the people who are like great people, right? Because so many things comes to their mind. If you're an employee, you just go to a company, you do the work that is asked for you to do, whereas the owner of that company has hundreds of things to do, right? That's what the difference is all about. Of course, we did have problems, we found solutions, and we continued to do our work. And of course, we have grown to a level that the work was noticed by United Nations, particularly the UNUSA office, under the initiative called Space for Youth, like youth who have been doing things for space. This is something that just makes us feel okay. The decision that we took that day to make it an NGO, the decision that we took when our parents were hating to stop what we were doing and we continued to do, this particular day and many such days had made us realize that we did we took a good decision. We didn't take a wrong decision. This is something that you all need to feel. When you start doing something, you should never regret. And you have to do the work like that, where you never ever feel that I made a mistake. No, you should never ever feel, and you should make sure you do as many things that will never make you feel that, right? As I said, entrepreneur thinks about or should have or should be ready with or should be good at leadership skills, must have a vision, must be knowledgeable about everything that's happening around, must always come up with new idea, always think about plans, think about different or innovative solutions, and be ready to take up the risk. Taking risk is one of the big thing. As an entrepreneur, you must always be ready to take a risk. You shouldn't be like, oh, I got into a problem, sit and cry. You can't be a person like that. Always think of ideas, think about how to take care of your team members, your employees, everything. You need to make sure everything is together and made possible. And if you are a person who are thinking of starting a company, I would suggest go read all these 17 sustainable development goals of United Nations. make sure you're solving at least one of this problem. Or like when you're coming up with an idea, these one of these problems are solved. For example, you're working on a problem, right? For example, I was telling you about the water, right? Like clean water and sanitation, that's one of the goal of this whole United Nation. Or you make sure in your company you say 50% only women will work. That's solving gender equality, isn't it? Similarly, think about like giving an education or making life online is proper. So many things. Read about it. Or like let's say you start a company which is not affecting the climate, like not producing chemical gases or not increasing the temperature or all those things. That's a small steps that you're taking to make sure sustainable development goals are achieved, right? Strongly suggest go through it and look for problems and give the solutions. All right. So we're almost at the end. This is a person who's also one of my mentor. His name is Gabe. He's former engineer at NASA. Right? He had come to India to talk about space and like inspire students and everyone. And everywhere he went, he kept on telling three things for a fun-filled life: do your best and believe in yourself and love what you do. That's what he said, and I would like to tell you all to do the same thing. Um, and I'm pretty sure you'll have a fun-filled life. He, at this age, he travels the world just to tell about space and inspire students. That is his goal or his life and his fun-filled life. Think of your fun-filled life, and I think you need to follow all these three rules to have a fun-filled life. And of course, I also have something like follow the dreams. Whatever dreams you thought you want to achieve, go behind them and make sure it's possible. Always make sure you do it within certain amount of time. Respect the time, because time is the only thing in the world which will never ever come back. So respect the time. And of course, when you're doing something, hundreds of people around you, behind you, in front of you, on your face will say that you can't do this, you shouldn't do this, why should you do this? Yeah, it doesn't give you anything, or don't do it. So many negative things. All you need to do is say yes, okay, and just keep them away and continue doing what you wanted to do. Okay. Another important thing that I have found is always try to help people. That will take you to another level. Help. Please help in whatever possible way. Help is not just giving money, help could be talking to someone, right? And always look for positiveness, always. And Gabe says love what you do, like whatever you do, love it, is what he says. But I say do what you love. Just do what you love, because when you do what you love, you'll make sure you'll give your 100%, right? And also take that one step forward. Like there might be one time in your future where you feel like, I can't do this, I have to stop it, I can't do anything, I don't know what to do. Stop for a second and think why you started, and take one more step forward to make that happen. Like something was stopping you, you couldn't do it, but make sure you take that one last step and do it. You will see whatever dreams that you had, you will make sure you will achieve that. All right, so these are the things. And I have my student here who said me something, and that just makes me feel like, okay, whatever I'm doing is good. I'm not sure if all of you can understand, but I'll just play it. So he just said that after being part of the program, while leaving, he just said that he wants to become like me. And that just made me feel so good and made me feel that I should never stop this. If I see many people becoming like me, I think that's a big thing for me. So you think of what is your goals, what is your dreams, and make sure you make it happen. All right. So let's go to the next slide, or the last slide. And that's all about it. I hope at least a few of you will become successful entrepreneurs. Successful means not getting money or not earning money. Successful doesn't mean that you started off company and everything is going fine. Successful company means you're always growing. The graph keeps going up. That is called successful. Never A successful company never has a full stop. So growing itself is called successful. So yeah, that's all about it. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to take. And I always want you all to be the achievers of your goals and dreams. And of course, if you do that, your awards from other people will continue to line up in front of you. You can also follow me on social media, and any help you would need, I would be happy to there. And yes, I'm happy to take any questions, and that's from my end. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And that was very enjoyable and at the same time packed with a lot of information in it. Thanks a lot for having you here. So, yeah, we do have few questions coming up, ma'am. So, yes, there is some user please tell us how self SWOT analysis is significant in pursuing our dreams.
It's very important. First of all, like SWOT analysis is done for anything that you want to do. And if you do the SWOT analysis just for yourself, I'm pretty sure, like, what is your weakness, you will make sure that will go, right? And like that, you do SWOT analysis on just yourself. That is just going to make you the better person. You should do it.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope it is clear. And we do have another question coming up. Yes. Yes, it is from the same person. Like, how can one identify or predict the break even in any enterprise or startup?
It's pretty simple. I am getting 100 rupees, or like let's say the other way. I have to run a startup for 1 month. I have to spend around 50,000, including the expenditures, including the salaries, including the rent, in case if you have in case if you have an office and everything. So 50,000 is my expenses. You should earn 50,000 in that whole month. That's simple. Breakthrough or break even. You just made it. You just made it. If you would have earned 1,000 less also, then you are on a loss, isn't it? So that's basically break even. Make sure you know these are my expenses. This is my amount of expense for 1 month, and always make sure you earn a little bit more, because your earning will not be same every time. Sometimes it will become less, sometimes more. So always try to think of earning more, so that during your break even time or little less than that, it will help you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And then, yes, we do have another coming up from the same person as well. Any shortcuts to identify my own core competency? Generally, we put aside about it and run after something else.
It's a very, very good question. See, you're telling about self confidence here. Like, for example, as a children, we all must have said this to our parents. Your parents would have said, "Look at that kid. You have to become like him. You have to study like him or her." So this is always a comparison that has happened, and we always used to say, "Don't compare us with them." Right? We have always said this, and that's what happens even when you grow up to become an entrepreneur and you start off your company. You see your competitors are also doing the same thing. People would say, "Look at them, look at them, look at them." And that's a different thing. You're talking about your own, like what's happening with you, right? The best thing to do is think of yourself when you came up with an idea. Think of that particular time when you would have done or given your best, right? Like some or the other time in your life, you would have felt, "Oh, I did try so hard, and that was very difficult time, but I made it. I made it." That part of your life, always have it as an example. Always have it as an example, and compare yourself with the person who's thinking at some point of time, telling, "I can't do this. I can't do this. This is getting hard. I think I have to leave it." This person of you, compare with this person of you who always thought, "Ah, I did it." Just, I think that's where it is. Compare yourself and make sure You become the other person of you who always thought of positivity. And that's basically like you're competing with that mindset that you already had at like some time back. So that's the competition between your mindset. So just identify that two aspects of you when you were doing really good. Always have that as a point to compare of your lower version of it. That's all it is.
Thank you, ma'am. That's really amazing. So we have another question coming up from Unbounded. Unbounded is actually owned by Mr. Nitish, and we had Nitish as a speaker in the past few weeks as well. And he's asking like this: did you not have some sort of a doubt when teaming up with another co-founder, or did you have some doubts on the partnership itself? What was your thought process? Also, awesome talk.
Thank you, Nitish, and amazing question. For me, it was like we both had this few thoughts, and we both were trying to like for the problem that I had, he had a solution. For the problem that he had, I had a solution. Now, what else can make a better team, isn't it? And more than that, this is the problem related to the company. Now, let's talk about personalized version. I had few problems like personally, which he can help me. For example, I'm a person who can talk, but I'm a person who's not that good at technical aspect, right? But look at him, he was very good at technical aspect, but he's a person who doesn't speak to people. So when even now, like till date, we both are running this SSCRD, in fact, our new startup, both are running in such a way that if there's any talking comes, I go forward. If there's any technical related things comes, he goes forward, right? So we both kind of give ourselves, and I think that is what has to happen in every uh, partnership. You must know what is good and bad, or like let's say weakness and advantages, whatever you can call it as. You must know every part of the co-founder. You shouldn't be like, I started off the company and after a few days this guy isn't helping me at all. No, I thought this person would do this much, like he would help me in this much, she would do this, but she's not. No. So spend quality amount of time to understand your partner. Only then you can see your startup going higher and higher, because just having a similar thought will also not help. You should, at the same time, there might be some point of time wherein you are unable to do something and your partner should make it happen. For example, um, there was a task and you are sick, but the talk or the task should go on, and in partner should come in and he makes sure the work gets well soon, right? Like, I mean, it happens in a right way or in the way it was supposed to happen. So that is something called as partnership. Did you have some doubt on partnership itself? I think I have like a really different answer for this, because, as I said, I come from a non-entrepreneurial background, and I didn't have a doubt, but I was pretty sure. Okay, now we can do it together. That's all it was.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And yes, it is always mutual work. So also we have the same from the same person as well, on accounts of if and how the vision may diverge down the line. How can one make the right call?
Very simple. In fact, if your idea is getting diverged, that's a good thing. You should always feel that if your idea or the first idea that you had, if you're working on the same idea, which means you're not going to see that progress in your entrepreneurial life. Always see that there is some changes that's happening, and you keep on adapting to it, and you keep on make sure that that thing continues, right? That is how I could say that if there is some changes that's happening, or if you're taking a diversion, which means it's happening for a good sake. But if you think that you just said like, how can I make the right call? Think about it. What was your idea like long back? If that changes that you're making is changing the first idea that you had, then take a pause and think, is that you want to go ahead with, or is it still serving the purpose that you started off? At the same time, does it have importance for people? Because after all, everything, all the work that we do is for others, right? Like I'm giving a talk. If you didn't like, you would have just gone, right? So just see that if what people wanted is what you're still giving, if it has scope. Those are few things that you can like really check to make sure that okay, whatever the directions that my startup is taking is good or not. You'll be able to find it.
Ma'am. Thank you so much. I personally enjoyed the overall session, ma'am. So yes, thanks a lot. And now I would like to hand over the session to Vinil. Vinil, over to you. And he will be giving a vote of thanks.
First of all, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for a wonderful session. It was really inspirational, and yeah, I guess the students of Andhra University have been benefited with this session. Uh, and thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Vinil, for the invitation, and in fact, all your professors and the principal of the university. I would like to thank each and every one, and I hope the expectations that your professors had when they requested the doc, like it, I don't know, they'll have to give. But yeah, thank
Yes,
you for the opportunity.
yes. Thank you. Now I thank once again Nikhitha Shetty ma'am for giving such a wonderful session. Thank you, ma'am. And I also want to thank Professor P. Mallikarjun Rao Garu, and also want to thank Professor Ramasundan ma'am and the AU Computer Cell and for supporting us in building such a wonderful tech talk platform. I also want to thank my team. Thank you, Chaitanya sir, Gautam sir, Rajesh sir, Maurya, and Reshma and Nitisha and Surya as well. Thank you all. We will see you in the next week at the same time with a new episode of G.I.T.A Talks. I hope you like the session and share our channel with your friends and family. And also you can post your views in the comment section below, and you can also contact us on the email ID given in the screen. Thank you all. Have a great day. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.